Good morning, guys. Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. All right, just to follow up on the video update from last night, we did end up getting that push higher that I was talking about for that potential fifth wave, which would have been, somewhere in this area here when I did that video. And I said that this does not look like a completed five-wave structure. We got that push up for our potential five. But I have added an alternate count, which is this green one. So if this thing keeps running, I'm going to have to assume that instead of this being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extended fifth, we are likely in this larger 1, 2, and now in our 3, 4, 5. So really, that's just actually more of a bullish count than the current structure that I have. So the difference clearly is we are in our three wave in this alternate count instead of in our fifth wave, being this. So that would basically make this our alternate one wave. And then from there, we would have a three wave structure down, and then a break back above the top of that one would really start to kick off our our larger degree three wave. So we'd be in the heart of our three if that happened, instead of here where we would, have our two wave and then kick into the heart of our three. So really, it's more of a bullish structure if we are indeed in that alternate one count, which would be the green that I have on this chart. But to zoom out for a broader context, for those of you guys who are new to this channel, I've been doing these updates for quite some time, and we have been navigating through this pretty well. But ultimately, what I believe we've got going on is a 1, 2, 1, 2 structure, and now really breaking into our wave 3. So how the subwave of that wave 3 starts to unfold is still yet to be seen. And for those of you guys who don't understand or are new to Elliott wave structure, wave 3s are really where FOMO starts to kick in, and where retail traders start to pile in, and everybody starts to pile in. And that's what causes obviously the extreme nature of the wave 3s. So ultimately, I believe that this thing is really going to start picking up speed, and it's going to explode. And for the most part, it becomes kind of a fool's errand to really start to chart the micro on this. I'm not going to be trading the micro. I'm a swing trader, so I really don't care what the microstructure does for the most part. So I'm not going to be paying a whole lot of attention. I mean, I'll keep these videos updated, but it's really important to understand that these structures, no different than this corrective structure that morphed quite frequently, they can certainly extend and they can morph. Impulsive waves are much more simplistic and easy to understand and to chart. But when you're in your wave 3, and especially in cryptocurrency, when you've got extreme FOMO, and once people start to actually realize that, hey, our bottom is in and we're not going back down to 10K, that's when the extreme FOMO comes in. For the most part, you've got bears that have been constantly shorting every single bounce and ultimately getting liquidated or getting stopped out. So once they stop shorting, and stop applying that downward pressure, because it just keeps constantly getting absorbed and picked up by the bulls. So, eventually they will stop, and eventually either they'll get liquidated and run out of funds, or eventually they'll turn into bulls themselves. That is ultimately when this thing really will start to pick up speed, pick up volume, and everything will start to indicate that, there's no way we're going to be breaching this $15,000 low. So ultimately, that's what I see is happening. And ultimately, On the microstructure, you know, this thing could unfold in a couple different ways. If we do unfold in this larger degree 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure, that's more bullish than the original count that I had, which would be this 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're on an extended fifth. So really, if this thing starts to run, you know, if we throw our fibs on here, we are already getting pretty deep into an extended fifth wave from a Fibonacci standpoint. So if this thing can run all the way up to this 3, which in this count would be an extension of our 5 up to 4, 6, 1, 8, and then if we get this and then a break back above that like that, then that's when you can say, okay, we are, you know, technically in a alt 1 as such. So, you know, for the uber bull scenario, compared to the yellow 5, that's what bulls would want to do and would want to see, which ultimately would press our targets higher for our 3 wave. So really, for the most part, the higher this thing goes in a subwave 1 of our higher degree wave 3 structure, you know, really the higher the target for our 3 becomes. So as bulls can push this and extend this higher, then our 3 wave targets become higher. It's just the way it works. So ultimately, if you're a bull, then this is good news for you. If you're a bear, this is bad news for you, and you are going to continue to be punished, and you will be, you know, eventually turn into a bull, or you'll lose your funds. Either way. All right, guys, that's it for this update. We'll see you later.